Hello everyone, welcome to Full Moon Movies. Some films stand out not because of massive action sequences or complex visual effects, but because of the power of dialogue and performance. The Devil's Advocate is one of those films, directed by Taylor Hackford. The movie blends legal drama, psychological thriller, and supernatural horror into a fascinating story about ambition, temptation, and moral compromise. At the center of the story is Kevin Lomax, played by Keanu Reeves, a young and extremely successful defense attorney from Florida who has never lost a case. Kevin's talent attracts the attention of a powerful New York law firm run by the mysterious John Milton, played by Al Pacino. Kevin accepts the offer to work in New York, bringing along his wife Mary Ann, played by Charlize Theron. Now, what begins as a dream opportunity quickly becomes something darker. Kevin becomes increasingly absorbed in the high powered legal world, while Mary Ann begins experiencing disturbing psychological visions that suggest something is very wrong with their new environment. One of the most compelling aspects of the film is how it slowly reveals its supernatural elements. At first, the story appears to be a traditional legal drama about a lawyer navigating the moral, ambiguous world of corporate law. Now, as the narrative unfolds, it becomes really very clear that the film is exploring something much deeper: the seductive nature of power and the quiet influence of evil. Now, this is where Al Pacino's performance becomes unforgettable. Pacino plays John Milton with extraordinary charisma and intensity. From the moment he appears on the screen, he commands attention. Milton is charming, witty, intelligent, and deeply philosophical. But beneath that charm lies something unsettling. Pacino's effort to portray the essence of evil is remarkably believable in this film. Instead of presenting evil as monstrous or terrifying, he presents it as a persuasive and seductive. Milton doesn't threaten people, he convinces them. He understands human weakness, ambition, pride, and desire. Through long hypnotic speeches, he explains why people willingly choose corruption. One of the film's most famous scenes involves Pacino delivering an extended monologue about free will and human nature. His dialogue is both theatrical and philosophical, reflecting the film's central theme that evil does not force people into wrongdoing, it simply offers them the opportunity. Opposite Pacino's powerful presence, Keanu Reeves delivers a performance that captures Kevin Lomax's internal conflict. Reeves portrays a man caught between ambition and morality. Kevin begins the film as a confident and highly competitive lawyer who believes success justifies his action. But as he becomes more entangled in Milton's world, he begins to realize that his choices have consequences. Reeves' performance works well because Kevin is not portrayed as purely good or purely evil. Instead, he is just human, ambitious, flawed, and constantly struggling to determine what is right. Now, this moral tug of war is central to the film's emotional tension. Another strong performance comes from Charlize Theron as Mary Ann. Her character represents the emotional cost of Kevin's ambition. As Kevin becomes increasingly consumed by his career, Mary Ann experiences isolation and psychological breakdown. Her descent into fear and confusion adds a tragic dimension to the story. Director Taylor Hackford uses the film's New York setting effectively. The city becomes a symbol of temptation and ambition. The law firm's luxurious offices, towering skyscrapers, and glamorous lifestyle contrast sharply with the moral decay beneath the surface. Now, visually, the film blends realism with subtle supernatural imagery. Strange reflections, unsettling dreams, and distorted visions slowly hint that the world Kevin has entered may not be entirely natural. Now, the film's pacing allows its psychological ideas to breathe. Many of the most memorable scenes involve long conversations and debates about morality. These moments allow the audience to reflect on questions about justice, ambition, and personal responsibility. One particularly powerful scene involves Kevin defending a clearly guilty client while convincing himself that his job is simply to win the case. In fact, the courtroom becomes a stage where truth and manipulation collide. When The Devil's Advocate was released in 1997, it performed well at the box office, earning over 150 million worldwide against a budget of roughly 57 million. Critics praised Pacino's electrifying performance and the film's thought-provoking themes, although some felt the movie's length and philosophical dialogue slowed the pacing. Now, over time, however, the film has become a cult favorite. Many viewers appreciate its willingness to explore complex moral questions rather than relying solely on suspense or horror. What makes the movie particularly interesting today is how relevant its theme remain. The story asks a timeless question. How much of our moral compass are we willing to sacrifice in exchange for success? Pacino's final monologue delivers the film's most memorable line about vanity being his favorite sin, capturing the idea that human pride often leads people into temptation. For collectors and fans of physical media, the 4K Ultra HD release by Shout Factory gives the film a strong visual upgrade. The movie features a 4K transfer source from the original 35mm camera negative presented in Dolby Vision, which enhances contrast and color detail, particularly in the darker office interiors and atmospheric night scenes throughout the film. And if you have an OLED TV, this will be great. Now, the release also includes several special features for fans interested in the production. One highlight is the audio commentary by director Taylor Hackford, where he discusses the film's themes, casting choices, and production challenges. The disc also includes deleted scenes that provide additional insight into the story along with the original theatrical trailer. More than 2 decades after its release, The Devil's Advocate remains a compelling film because of its timeless themes. The story reminds us that success and ambition often come with moral compromises. Through powerful performances, intense dialogue, and philosophical storytelling, the film continues to resonate with audiences who enjoy character-driven dramas that explore the darker side of human nature. Now, this movie is a must-watch.